Okay, once again, another frosty morning. I swear, it seems like it's colder here than it is outside. But then I'm wearing a lot less clothes here than I would be outside. The other day I couldn't find something, so I decided to do a pretty deep organization of my closet area, which has a bunch of pull-out drawers. They're built in. This room was used as a pantry. It would be a waste of space to use this as a pantry because it's big. But it's handy because I can have like multiple projects, put them away and things like that. And I couldn't find my German crosses from Skytrex, and I know I have them. It's the only one that has like a blue backing paper. I have it. It's like I got like 40 or 50 of them, whatever, left on there. There's a lot of them that come in that. I couldn't find it. I said, screw this. I'm going to take the whole thing, go drawer by drawer, and I'll find it. I didn't. So wherever I put it, I hid it really well from myself. And now I can't find my British markings either. So I got the other one to do, but I don't know if I got any Army tank brigades for this. So maybe we'll do a little bit of perusing on the internet today. See what we can talk ourselves into. But it's just annoying to have stuff and then not be able to find it. And I'm pretty organized compared to some people in this hobby. I'm very organized. But the fact that I don't have a shit show of paint and, and other stuff on here is, definitely a big difference. So let's continue. We need to glue the little hatch back on. And then we'll continue. Let me make sure I put it in the right way. And then we'll continue on blacklining this thing. Now, is there any plastic exposed here? I think that there isn't. Let's scrape off a little bit here. And a little bit there. No, that's the orange one. Actually, I think to me it does make an orange one, but that's the one that smells of oranges from Microscale. I don't know why this drawer is. Is it because of the weight that's on it? The only thing heavy on here is these rocks. No, it's still. That's another project I need to do, is replace this drawer with one that's not used as much. I've used that little. I don't know if it's from IKEA or not, but I've used that thing a lot. Some things you get and you're like, man, I don't know if I'm going to use this, but we'll give it a shot. And then you're like, man, I use this all the time. That's good. It's stupid to pay for something and not use it. That's doom. All right. Sure, these is the detailed one we were using. This one. I have such a bad habit of putting every single thing to the right hand side of me. And then I go and try to paint and I'm like, I can't, because I'm like encroached by all this shit. There's the effing tweezers. And then we're going to do the Humber Armored cars next. I just wanted to do something different. This doesn't pertain exactly to what I'm working on right now, but I wanted to do something different. Especially since I don't really have a timetable that I got to complete this by. Like, well, no, you can't stray off the beaten path because you got to get this done by such and such a time. And that just isn't the case. Now this will end up being the only vehicle that has both hatches and the roof open. That I own. Usually because usually there's not a vehicle that has both hatches able to be opened. Many times you can't even open one of them. See if we can't remove this without doing irreparable damage to it. The silk purse. I'm glad you like it. There's some people at the helm of, and maybe it happens everywhere. Maybe it even happens in the industry I'm in. I know what happens in the industry I'm in. It's just a job for some people, and they just want to get through it, and they don't care how it turns out. And these guys do so many things correctly that when they do something wrong, you're like, why didn't they just do it the same way they always do things? It would have turned out, fabulous. And there's just other things that work there. Maybe you got employees that are going to do the absolute minimum and they don't give a shit about the stuff that they're making. Now, the only previous problem I had prior to this unboxing that I did from these guys was when I built those Panzer IIIs, the look of them was suspect. Something just looked off about them. We didn't get out there with almost said a spatula. No, we didn't get out there with a spatula either. We didn't go out there with a caliper. Don't even own one. And measure stuff. But they generally look like the piece that's on there. And the Panzer IIIs just look. The Panzer III turrets just didn't look right. They work just fine. I'll use them. But I probably won't buy any more because there's just better offerings than that. And I totally agree with them making their barrels robust. Because then you don't have to worry about them breaking. So it's not like, well, their barrels are too thick. I'm actually okay with that. Just to have wrong stuff on there. And really, the way I would have described the top of these holes now that I look at it is, I would have said, put the sand shields on everything that's going to the desert environment. And if you want to make a model of something training in England or going into the Soviet Union, then you can use this version. As I put this hull on this to look different, and I don't know if I could, I'll be damned if I could hardly find any pictures of any any of these without any sand shields on them. But this one didn't have them. I wanted to look something so it looks different for variety. Well, one thing with a basic looking model that's very important is that it should be easy to build. I mean, that's one of the reasons you get a basic model, right? Is you don't spend a freaking hour building it or more. And those bloody honeys took forever to build. So much cleanup that I had to do. I could have just thrown it together and not cleaned any of it up, but I'm like, we're spending a bit of time painting this, and that's not a complaint. I enjoyed this part right here a lot. This is putting my own personal spin on it. Is silk still considered a material of luxury? I know it was back then, way back. It was imported from China, but if somebody says, I got some silk pajamas for you, I want you to wear them, I'm like, you're out of your mind. I'm not wearing that stuff. I personally hate the feeling of silk. But, I shouldn't like the feeling of it. I'm not the right demographic for that. This thing's gonna look great. The light colored vehicles look better. There's just more contrast. Real silk, yes. Due to how it's produced, there are lots of false alternatives these days. Ah, yes, and that's even without using AI. Somebody went on a rant. Not a rant, but they made a post on their group, and I don't remember which group it was before. But they made a post like, if I see you putting AI pictures, I'm taking you down. I'm taking them down and I'm banning you from this site. I forgot who the hell it was. When I saw that, I'm like, okay. My wife uses that Chat GPT a lot, but I don't know about AI pictures. it's annoying. It's annoying when you're trying to get to the bottom of things that there's people out there that are just without any without any I'll say reservation, but that's not really what I want to say. Just throw around untruths all the time and just don't care what the consequences are. Reservations, without any reservations. Just slinging around either stuff that they completely made up or didn't look into it. I'm still fully expecting to get some kind of a nasty gram from Plastic Soldier Company. And I'm like I said, I'd buy their stuff again. I wasn't expecting there to be that many issues. You know, if I'd done one on the Martyrs, the only thing bad I would have said would have been like, "Hey, they don't. This breach isn't cast in there. You should just paint it in." That's about it. I'm pretty happy with the rest of those guys. The German armored car set, I don't know that there's anything wrong with it at all. Panthers, I don't think there's anything wrong with the Panthers at all. Other than you only get two of them in the pack. And you get three tires. Hey, how come you only get two Panthers but yet you get three tigers? Oh, right, we'll fix that. Now, next thing you know, you only get two tigers. Careful what you complain about. But just before I signed off yesterday, last night, one of the things that I looked up was about German trucks and which ones were the most common. And I was floored that it wasn't the Opel Blitz. It was one that I'd never even heard of. If somebody told me what it was called, I'm like, you just made that up. That's just a made up thing. I've never seen that before. Well, if that's the case, then the people that produced Opel Blitz had a film crew everywhere. That's the one that got filmed a lot. That's the one that everybody makes models of. Okay, we're good here. Not worried about the undercarriage at this moment. So I remember when I was doing 135th scale, the only German truck that you could get your hands on easily here in the United States was the Krupp Prots from Tamiya, and You can't use it for late period, or you shouldn't use it for late period. There's no pictures of them back then, anyways. Can't use it for Africa. There's no pictures of them in Africa. I actually like how the Crook-Protz truck looks a lot. It looks physically different. But the German truck that comes made by these people here, it comes with Malteers, and I don't need any more Malteers. I got two of them, and they're not painted. They're very limited. You can't use them early war. I mean, I really haven't seen pictures of them early war. Magirus. The Magirus A3000. And the Fords have a similar front to the Opel Blitz. I might have even confused one for the other if I wasn't paying attention. Never heard of Magirus before. And that's just something I think that people don't really think about very much. I gotta make sure I get the right trucks. Like, it's just like a side thing. I just don't want to put these guys in the field and they don't look the part. I know I can use captured trucks, but I don't really want to use captured trucks. You know, if you use captured trucks, then the guys that they capture them from should have some first. So in other words, I'm not going to get British trucks and use them for the Germans if I don't have any British trucks for the British. It just doesn't make any sense in my world. I need to be able to go to sleep at night. But that would be a use for those all those darn decals I have that are like from captured vehicles. That German style Iron Cross that has a black around the outside as well. Those seem to be on captured vehicles. Not to mention the ones that have the reverse colors. In other words, it's got the black on the outside, white on the inside, which looks really weird to me. I think I've seen Valentines in that type of thing. There's a set that I did not get the detail put on. Alright, so taking this section by section, we're good here. Good there. The can's good. This is all good. Top hole. Maybe a little bit more there. Other than the jerry cans. I'm sorry, flimsies. Those are flimsies. Alright, we have on this front plate, we didn't do these. And then working our way to this side. No, the tools aren't painted on there yet. Now, flimsy 30. Man, I'm really concerned about a 6-hour jet lag. Usually I get affected by like 3. That's going to be brutal. All right, now. need some darkness there and some darkness there. Now, some people would model this with like a sand wash or something like that, because that would get in like the nooks and crannies. I just don't like the look that that has. And like I've said before, my particular painting style is like a realistic looking graphic novel. There is some cartoon. As many cartoons, like a lack of a better word I can think of until I could come up with another one. But you know, I've seen like graphic novels that look really, really good. You know, and other people's stuff looks like that as well. That's the look I'm trying to achieve. I don't want something that's going to be able to blend in with the terrain too much, and then when you're 3 feet away from it, it just looks like a blah. All right, we have anything left on the turret? I don't. We may have had stuff like down here. And some other people I saw that were commenting. They were like, they had to go work at the salt mines again today. I'm like, man, if they were off since the 24th, that's a long freaking time. I had enough time off as it was with nothing to do, really. We're actually we're actually gonna supposed to travel. It just didn't work out. All right, didn't work work out because the people we were going to go visit were also traveling. The barrel turned out really nice. I think I lucked out on that. There was a little bit of a nub there, and they had made it extra long, and it doesn't look like a 75 millimeter gun. I don't know what is it? It's supposed to be the one like off the 6-pounder or whatever. I just take the 6-pounder barrel and throw it on there. I know they make a 6-pounder. This little Lloyd carrier. I've never seen a Lloyd carrier. There's definitely whoever's photographing those things need to do a better job. Yeah, I guess that's the barrel off the 6-pounder, which does have a muzzle brake. Yeah, that was an easy enough fix though. Does make it look like it's at 75. It looks better with a muzzle brake, but it just didn't have it. All right, I gotta wrap something up before I go to work. And this was just the right amount of time. So, yeah, this thing needs some markings on the front and the back, of course. The weather and some of the brown drippings and overbrush of some pale sand really lightly. And this will pretty much be ready to go. Oh, I guess I got to paint something with the hatches. I got to fix the hatches up as well. No big deal. All right, folks.